All right. Well, if we're all ready, I'm going to kick it off to Siddharth to start intro our project.
Yeah, so hello guys. So we're part of the AI Camp. This is our project, and we are part of the natural language processing, and we are Team Solar Systems, and we made a Marvel superhero chatbot.
All right, to start us off, our overview for our project. So we have a Marvel superhero chatbot. So we picked 4 characters. And so when you give them an input text, they'll be able to respond back to you in their own unique style and unique way of saying things. So you'll give them a chat and they'll be able to chat back to you in their own unique way.
So a little bit about our data set. So we used 4 characters from the Marvel universe, and we used a multitude of movies from that universe. So what we did is we isolated specific lines from each character and from each movie, and we put all of those movie lines from each character into an entire text, and we use that text to train the model.
The model we chose for our project was the GPT-2 model because it came out with the best results compared to other models. We also used AI text gen for the text generation because it was the simplest to use and it was pretty easy to implement it into our code.
All right, now we will show you our project, our website. So I'll turn it over to Siddharth to intro our website now.
Yeah, thank you, Vamsee. So what you guys see here is the home page for our website. So the left-hand side tab has tabs to go to each hero, and you'll be able to chat with them and they'll reply with their unique personality. So at the top, you'll see 3 tabs, which will redirect you to another tab and another page. As you go through this website, you'll notice that each character has a gradient for their background that matches their personality and a universal font that matches that of Marvel. Lastly, to come back to this page, you'll simply press the logo in the upper left-hand corner. Shout out for Vamsee for designing the logo. Now I'll hand it over to Jasmine to demo the Ironman chatbot.
So this is our Ironman chatbot, and it was actually the first model we created. And alongside that, Ironman actually had the most lines out of all the characters we've done. And since it was the first, it's responsible for all the parameters we used in our Spider-Man, Thor, and Groot models as well.
Now we will switch over to our Spider-Man model. Let's see what he thinks of.
So for our Spider-Man model, we used like the 3 movies that he's from and the 2 Infinity War and Endgame models. So he's designed to talk like Spider-Man, like a playful high school teenager.
As far as the Thor model goes, it was probably one of the hardest to actually implement due to the fact that we had to manually find all of his data from his movies instead of using a program like we did with all the other people. In addition to that, his tokenizer, when we actually implemented it with the website, got kind of screwed up, so we had to fix that. But now that we have it all fixed, he talks in a very like Shakespearean way due to his like age and the fact that he's like, technically from outer space. But yeah, now to turn it over to Ty, who's going to be talking about Groot.
All right, so Groot was by far our most difficult model to create. He has just a ridiculous number of lines, and it was ridiculous sifting through all of those lines. For those of you who come to our products later, I will tell you we have some special responses that you will get to find. If you find the 1 in 1,000, great job. Carson managed it on try 4, so you're going to have to beat him.
So now we'll so raise your hand and we'll pick one person to input a phrase into the
So we'll see if you guys are the lucky one to get the 1 in 1,000 chance.
Yep. Let's see. Okay,
we get a phrase in the chat.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you guys can put a phrase in the chat. Okay, yeah, let's try Java.
Java sucks. Okay.
Let's try Java sucks.
All right.
Oh, there you got a special one. Good.
All right, but yeah, so basically in one of the movies he says "We are Groot" once, and that's like the only time he says "We are Groot." So we have a 1,000 chance. All right, but I'm gonna hand it over to. I'm sorry. I'm gonna hand it over to Ayush to talk about our buttons over here.
So in the top right of our website, we have a button that links to the AI Camp main website. Here you can find like everything to do with AI Camp. You can register for courses. You can also go to past products for like past batches. And next to that, we have a link to our product specs page. And this is probably by far our best looking page. Here's just the name of our project and a brief description.
All right. So for creating our chatbot, we spent most of our time training them, as we trained all of the models up to 200K steps. And then our second most time consuming task was cleaning all of the data, especially when it came to Thor, because we had a script that would scrape the web for the scripts and their lines. But when it came to Thor, his were formatted in a way that it was not easily automated. So we had to go and do that manually. That took us a couple of hours. And yeah, that was creating our chatbots.
So on to designing the website. So our team did this week, and we worked on both the front end and back end simultaneously. So to design the website, we mainly worked on formatting of the website and getting the chatbot to look like an actual chatbot. We also needed to link up the pages so that a click of a button could redirect you to another page. Some difficulties we had were adding the images and setting them to the correct proportions to fit the page. Now on to Carson to explain the purpose and challenges of our project.
The purpose or the reason that we created this product is very simple. We just wanted to have fun creating these unique AI products that speak like specific Marvel characters. In addition to that, you can also sort of like test your knowledge with these bots, because you ask them about specific phrases, like from their specific movies, they'll respond like in the way that they would in those unique situations. As far as the challenges faced, we've talked about it before, but we had the data preparation issues, especially with Thor, due to the fact of his formatting being sort of weird. In addition to that, initially when we created our AI text gen, when the output would be spat out by the AI, it would also include the input in that. So we had to use a function called regex to essentially exclude that. Another issue initially was the Thor tokenizer. When we implemented it into the website, for some reason, whenever the Thor tokenizer would spit out complete gibberish to the point where it looked like he was drunk, funnily enough. So we found out after a while that we mixed up his tokenizer with Ironman's. So once we got that fixed, we got that all set. Front end design in general was difficult because a lot of us were new to HTML and CSS. So creating this super clean website in the way that we wanted took a while, especially since we were learning along the way. Back end trouble in general, Flask was a little bit difficult to learn and implement as well, in addition to getting the JavaScript to working correctly. And also, as far as the chat history goes, it's showing your past messages was something that we actually implemented like yesterday. And a huge shout out to, let's see here, a huge shout out to Mitch, Alex, Rohan, and Jackson on the AI Camp support team for helping us out with that, because there's no way we would have been able to do it in time without them, due to it just being super complex and a little bit annoying. But that's pretty much our challenges faced. Now to pass it over to Vamsee to talk about our About Us page.